Hello, everybody. I'm Lady Lay, and welcome to The Look from Inception to Fruition. Tonight, we will be diving into the beautiful minds of everyone here and learning about their process to bring a look together. So, let's introduce everyone first. My name is Lady Lay. I'm a drag queen from Aotearoa, New Zealand, and that is kind of like. And then we move on to Dear.
Hello, my name is Dear. Let's play what you fear. I like to play scary games up in here, and I also love drag. So I'm excited to be here on this panel with you all. Woo!
Moving on to Yovska.
Hi, you guys. It's me, Yovska, the ultimate drag plushie. Plushie on the outside, rotten on the inside. I play a lot of Identity 5, and yeah, hi.
Hello. Everyone say hi, Yovska. Hi, Dear, in the chat. Yes. On to Mickey.
Hi, I'm Mickey Mirage, the magically melanated pixie princess of drag, a World of Warcraft baddie, and I'm so excited to be here and see all these gorgeous looks.
Yes.
Wow.
So everyone say hello to Mickey as well. It's a theme. And on to Apple.
Hey, it's your girl Lady Gaga. No. Hey, hi, I'm Apple Day. Stupid, funny, gorgeous island gal from Hawaii, but I live in LA, honey. Hi.
Yes, LA. Everyone say hi, Apple.
Say hi.
Hi.
And on to Bitch.
Hi everybody, I'm Bitch Puddin', winner of Dragula Season 2, and I'm giving Benny Jesuit realness. Dune Prophecy is my future, honey. I'm a space witch, cocky vine.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cocky
You know
vibes.
exactly which planet you would like to be in.
Oh baby,
space?
I'm raw dogging on Arrakis, and the sandworm is not the only thing I can take.
Yes. Everyone say hi, Bitch.
Hi everybody.
Hey.
Okay, I'm going to gorgeously start so everyone here can kind of get an idea of the flow of things. Feel free to ask questions if I leave anything out. Yeah, vibey. So could we gorgeously, Dola, please have the first image showing? Thank you so much. So generally with looks, I am inspired by a lot of film. I'm inspired by a lot of TV, horror. I've done some other characters before. I've done a Lydia Dietz look. I've done a Poison Ivy look. I always like to take my own kind of spin on it. And for this look, I wanted to do a look inspired by Frank from Donnie Darko. And I wanted it to be used for purpose as something that would work as a performance outfit, but I also wanted to do a shoot with it. I knew that I wanted to do a photo shoot. I love doing photo shoots in drag. And I also wanted something to elevate it as well, because I knew I wanted a bodysuit type of thing. And Call Me Sophia makes these fabulous capes. And so I was like, oh, I could have a cape with it too, gorgeously. I reached out to Call Me Sophia with this image. I showed the inspiration first and the type of mask I was thinking of at the time. And then I shared some looks of hers that she had already done. And I said, I like this kind of idea. I like what you've done here, sort of thing. And then I mentioned that the biggest thing I wanted is that I want it gray. And I want a giant white fur hat on the front, like Frank has. And she was like, oh, I really want more black. I love black. And I was like, okay, perfect. I was unsure about it at first. It's it has to give Frank. And then I'm really glad that I listened to her, because it's got heaps of black accents on it, which is very gorgeous. And as you can see, I already purchased the mask at first. I had originally decided to do a leather dominatrixy kind of rabbit mask at first. And
Dangerous woman.
Dangerous woman. And then I had worn it one time. I wore it one time on stream. And I was like, this is not going to work. It was just, I think, made for a slimmer face than your diva has. And I was like, this is not the slave vibe I was intending. So I did end up looking for more of a close film accurate replica. which costs some more money, but I also like it. Now I've got a Michael Myers mask, and I also have a Frank mask as well. So I'm like collecting little, horror icon masks. I personally would consider Johnny Darko like a horror adjacent film. It's far more sci-fi, but Frank was always the scary part to me. Would we be able to see the next slide, please, Dola? Thank you so much. I knew that I needed hair that would, in theory, be like under the mask. And so I was like, what can I do that would like look like it's been under a hood kind of thing? And it was during Chromatica Ball, and I saw Lady Gaga with this hairstyle, and I was like, I love that. I also saw, when I Googled like more images similar to that kind of thing, I saw Gwen did one. And so I sent these to Lucina Innocence, who does a lot of my hair. I style some of my hair. I styled this one. But I find something very camp about like reaching out to divas to like bring something to life exactly how I want it, more so than like me spending the time still learning a skill that I don't necessarily have as much as they already have that skill. And so I'm like, I feel like it's nice, and it's also a way for me to like reach out to like other queer artists and support them and like, commission work. It's fun, and I like the whole conglomerate coming together kind of thing. And will we be able to see the next slide, please, Dola? Thank you so much. And this is the final look. I had to keep the shot out eye from when Johnny shoots Frank, spoiler alert. And I hired out a local cinema for the shoot. I was unsure if I'd be able to do that. And then it turns out that it was owned or like run by someone that I knew. And so I was like, I'll work diva. And yeah, we were able to hire out the cinema for the whole day. And we did a whole shoot with it. It also comes with this gorgeous like billowing black cape, which I love. And I love the photo shoot. I can also then like, toss the mask to the side, wear like more normal makeup without the eye, and do like any kind of club gig sort of thing.
Calling all the monsters.
Nice. Yeah. And so it's nice to have like a multi-purpose look. But for me specifically, I love drag and how it can come together in a photograph. And I love photo shoots. Ever since Top Model, I love photo shoots.
Absolutely.
And so that's like a big part of how I like to express my drag. Yeah.
Hot Latum.
And so that's my gorgeous moment. We can do a gorgeous Q&A. If anyone's got any questions, we can go back to the 6th panel.
Have you ever performed in this look before?
I have. I've done Hungry Like the Wolf.
Oh,
So I
cute.
dressed up in like wolf makeup for Halloween. And then like it was like furry and stuff. And so I was like Hungry Like the Wolf. That was fun. And so I performed that in it. Yeah.
You also went to TwitchCon in that look.
I did go to TwitchCon in that look, yeah. And I hadn't done the shoot yet because at that time I still had the shoddy mask.
Oh no.
Yeah.
The silver mask in that photograph was gorgeous though.
Yeah,
So I think it was a
really
good
is
it worked out for the better because that mask is really nice.
Yeah. I really like it. And I've got like my Michael mask, which is pretty cool as well. And I think it's a fun little collection I started. Yeah.
I love that look, lady. You should be so proud of it.
Thank you.
Yes.
And this is my picture. What was
I'm
that?
also gagged that you booked out an entire theater for that. I love
Yeah,
that.
kinda
Like, when the
campy.
full way, you're like, let me live the full fantasy.
Yeah. And we put on Maxine was on the like projected. But we didn't have like a fog machine. And so I wanted a fog machine to like kind of be able to show the projector light showing through. And so we just mimicked it with some lighting. Yeah.
It was stunning.
Thank you everyone. We can gorgeously move on to Dare.
Oh, is it my turn?
It's your turn.
Well, I selected looks that I wore to TwitchCon.
Mhm.
I love drag, and I love drag as a form of expression to just like bring to life like some idea that you have, like just it could be anything. And so when you look in the upper right, I was watching, it was a year ago, probably this time a year ago, Lori Bird, actually a little bit before this
Mm.
month. It was just probably October. So Lori Bird was playing the Duck Simulator game, and it was the
Uh-huh.
Halloween update, and they edited some designs, and then there were Halloween inspired designs, and they took a blue duck with daisies all over it, and they made it black with daisies all over it, and it was just this repeating pattern, and I became obsessed with it. I became fixated on it. I wanted to be this duck, and I just like in my mind I'm like this repeating pattern everywhere. You can see the pattern on my gloves, we'll get to that later. um
Yes.
but I was like, this duck reminds me of, so when I'm conceptualizing something that I want to look like, it's like mood board. So here we see my mood board, and
Mhm.
I imagined this duck, if we took the pattern off of it, it's like a kitchen curtain or a couch in the 1960s and or 70s, like where the 60s and the 70s meet, like the crossover of the decade. And
Mhm.
so I was like, I want to wear this pattern all 3 days. I want to be recognizable. I want someone to be like, oh, like they see me one day and then they see me from across the room or on a panel or on a stage, and they recognize me all 3 days because I have a repeating quality. So those are the daisies. So off of the daisies and the 60s, 70s, I started to pull some references. So we have Cher and Cher's makeup under the duck. We have Pat McGrath doing 70s inspired makeup in on runway for Galliano's Dior 2007. And then for hair, when you look at these three columns, these are each a look. So it's like there's
Mhm.
one look with Sharon Tate and Raquel Welch with like a side part, pretty wavy, curly kind of hair, and like a tent dress. So I imagine this pattern in a tent dress, very, very short. Then we move on to the middle, and it's like the Peter Pan kind of color, like a Wednesday style dress with Dolly Parton, big, curly, beautiful hair. And then a third look, like a romper, so like a schoolgirl with suspender type straps with a tie. And then I pulled references from Sharon Tate and Barbara from Night of the Living Dead, where it's like a fall, and then Ariana. And when you look at these reference images, they're authentic to the timeline, except for Ariana. Um, the ones along the bottom, it's a lot of patterns. So, like when you wanted to make your own outfit out of just fabric in the 70s, you could buy a pattern and you could make your own clothes at home. And there's also Barbies. So, that illustration to the left in the tent dress is a Barbie illustration. And I just thought it was fascinating. May we move on to the next slide, please? um, Here we have taking those thoughts and those ideas, we moved on to what I want to actually look like. And I have to give a huge, major, gigantic shout out to our amazing manager of Stream Queens, manager of this entire event, someone that just is so talented and so amazing and always brings to life things that I imagine in my mind. I was like, Doladar, I want to look like this duck. I want it to be a repeating pattern. I want it to be a design where it can just be a square, and then you can throw it into like a digital fabric order machine, and it'll just be repeating all over the entire whatever
Mhm.
thing of fabric. And so
Mhm.
Doladar designed these two swatches at the top surrounding the duck. And then I talked to my friend Misty G. Quartz, and I was like, I want one hair to be sort of a soft side sweep. I want one to be big Dolly Parton curls. I want a big draggy ponytail, but inspired by the falls of the 60s and the 70s. And then I sketched out these outfits based on those other references. So a tent dress, but you can rip off the tent dress with a bodysuit under and socks. And that's that the main pattern there is the more small and separated design that Dola made. The middle and the right have the tighter and bigger repeating pattern. And again, it's the Peter Pan type dress with the collar, and then the strappy suspendery dress with a button-down shirt, tie, and really high socks. When you look at the middle under the Peter Pan dress, you can see the earrings that I'm actually wearing now, and I took Doladar's design and sent it to a girl that makes acrylic jewelry, and I was like, I want this exact design that I'm going to have on my fabric, but I want it to be turned into earrings. And I told her I want one that's dangly like what I'm wearing now. I want one that's a stud. I want one that's half. And she made this template and she was like, just approve all of this. And this is explaining the way that the 3D parts of the I think it's laser cut, not acrylic, but she made this chart on the plastic and how it layers. And I was like, that is exactly what I want. And I put rhinestones on them. I also rhinestoned all of this fabric. In the upper right, you can see the accessories. So those aren't things that are custom. It's just like, I wanted a daisy ring. I had the Kate Spade purse. I had my Steve Madden heels. I had the Trixie nails. I also, I wore to TwitchCon, so I needed to be a little bit comfortable. And so I have the Croc heels.
I love that the Crocs are in the image.
And
my
I
God.
Cool.
I got daisy giblets and I rhinestoned those as well.
That's
I just thought that it would be so cute and so special to have every detail realized. I just think that drag, fashion, makeup, accessorizing, it's all about the styling and the details. So I just really wanted it all to really tie in and feel fully realized. Let's take a look at the final slide where we have the fully finished looks that I wore around the convention center at TwitchCon in San Diego. So you can see I am very daisies. That's the tent dress on the left, the Peter Pan color dress in the middle, and then the schoolgirl inspired look on the right. I am wearing my heels in the middle picture, but they just got caught off. I did have heels with me. I wore heels around. It's just, I was in these looks for about 12 hours a day. So, you know, I had to slip on the Crocs every once in a while, but I just, again, I love the idea of having a signature or something recognizable. And thank you, Saint Sacco, for the daisies in the chat. I think that this was just so special because everybody knows I'm tall, I'm blonde, but I wanted to give that extra little thing where if someone saw me one day, they would see me on another day. It'd be like, oh, I think I just saw a deer, because it's like you're seeing this repeating pattern. And my outfits were made by Sean Melmis, who is in Canada, and he is so talented. He brought these to life exactly how I wanted them. I mean, down to my fingertips, down to my toes, socks, gloves, like the repeating pattern is everywhere. And I think that the makeup really tied it in too. And the hair is great as well.
You're a duck.
Slay.
Quack, quack. I saw that duck and I was like, I want looks inspired by this duck. Like I saw the duck and it's all I could think about. If we go to the first slide, you don't have to go to the first slide if you don't want to, but I'll just mention it. Or the second slide. Sorry. I did those sketches like a year before I had these outfits made. I was sharing
with me the sketches, and then you sent me the picture of the duck, and you were like, "I've been inspired by this duck lady," and I was like, "That is so fun!"
It is
I
so
just
funny.
thought it was so cool. And then eventually, you shared the pattern that Dola had made as well.
Yeah.
And I was like, I loved knowing like how it all came together. I loved seeing the drawing and
thank you.
The sketches that you had made. And I love knowing what happens behind the scenes before, we all look this fabulous. It's really fun. And I like how it can take a team.
One more thing I wanted to mention, one of them had the tie that I'm wearing now and a button down. I was like, Sean, I love a button down. And I'm willing to go out there and buy a button down. Like, if you don't want to make one, like, totally. But I was like, Sean, if you can make this, I will pay you. Everything. Just if you can make it, I want it to be the easiest to put on button down in the world. And he made a button down with a zip up the back. So you throw that on, just and this tie attaches with a button. It's just like, boop, and I safety pinned it to this today.
Yeah.
Did you wear Marc Jacobs Daisy when you wore this outfit? The
I
fragrance.
should have.
I
really
love
should
that.
have. I was wearing Chanel. I should have gotten Daisy. Damn.
That would have been
That's genius.
powerful.
That's a detail, bitch. I like
Oh.
that. I like how you
That's
think.
genius.
She hasn't seen the final form yet. You know.
I'm gonna have to wear them again with Daisy. Woo.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Great.
much, dear. Let's gorgeously move on to Yovska.
Oh my god, hi.
Oh,
Hi.
sorry, I got scared. I'm so sorry.
Oh, boo. Boo. Okay, so for mine, it started off actually as the sketch on the right, the smaller black and white one, and it was originally going to be a mouse. Like how I start my stuff is usually like I'll just have an idea and I'll start drawing it on the sketchbook. So I was like invited to judge a ballroom ball that was mainly bizarre focused, and as some of you guys know, I'm a bizarre legend in Toronto's local scene for the bizarre category. And the ballroom scene where they do the voguing and that kind of. Well, I don't know how to vogue, but I'm known
so
for
into
bizarre
voguing
there.
right now.
No, I'm not. I don't do voguing. Either you vogue well or don't vogue. That's what I think.
I agree.
But basically, I was like, oh, I want to wear something cute, but I gotta go to Montreal, so I can't take something like huge with me. So like, let me make a little cute moment that I can judge in. And so since it was sci-fi themed, I was like, okay, why don't I start just like drawing shapes? And I had like the idea of doing these big circles, almost like a little like electric mouse almost. But then my partner looked at the sketch and he said he thought it was like a cow for some reason. And I was like, oh wait, it's because I had the little like patches kind of going. It was supposed to be like circuitry. So I'm like, okay, let me like dip into this cow theme, and I kind of went along with it. And so the image on the left is how my idea ended up looking like. And I'm like, oh, I'm really enjoying this like neon kind of cow moment with like the udders and like the little coils. May we go to the next slide, please?
I just love your hand going, yes, girl.
Yeah, I love the drawings from that.
So yeah, once I started getting into the cow idea, I'm like, okay, let me really like get into it a bit. So you got like the green cows, like from like a Farmville, or like Destroy All Humans, and like the Tesla coils, because Tesla's like a scientist or something.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that looks
That sounds right.
scientific, and the cows are very alien-y sci-fi, so it made sense. I also really wanted to incorporate the little circuitry panel with the green and the black, so I made sure to put that into my design. I think we can go into the next image, because then I can explain like my process for making stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that is how the look ended up looking like. So you can see how I ended up becoming the cow, very cunty. The udders herself, I decided to go for like a spiky udder, because like a round udder, well, that's like a normal cow, but she's like a space cow. So I'm like, oh, that would be like cool if it was like pointy cows, like she mutated, her tits got cunty. Is that TOS? I'm not sure.
I like your abduction hole.
I wanted to give her like a little eyeball on her breast, because I'm like, that's very sci-fi, very Resident Evil vibes. I hand painted all of the patterns on, so like all the circuitry patterns I've hand painted myself, because I'm like, well, like I didn't think about like ordering, like deer style, but I do like to like like do everything myself. I'm a very like DIY, like I like to just like control every aspect of what I'm doing. In like the sense that like like I want to be like responsible for it 100%. So sometimes I can be good, sometimes I can be a little annoying, but that's what I wanted to go for with this. The headpiece as well was really fun to make, and I was kind of like just trying to find different ways to kind of get my idea across. So I was playing with like different materials, foam, stuffing. I ended up using pool noodle for that. I found this like vibrant
Pool
neon
noodles?
Mhm.
green. Yeah.
No way.
It's like, oh my god, secrets out. I found this neon green paint at the dollar store that was like that actually was like glowed in the dark. Is it glowed? Well, it glows in the dark. And I rhinestoned with like little green like rhinestones, as you would rhinestone with. And yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I it was really comfortable to wear, and I was smacking my fellow judges in the head the whole night by accident every time I would turn.
That's normal for you.
Yeah.
I love that it kept like, because your first design, you were thinking of a mouse. And like the whole way through, it kept like the mouse ear shape. But then you went with the cow, and then it's like these funny, like you like interpreted it to make sense with the cow story. I think it's fun, like seeing like how it developed and became something new.
Yeah, I really like to borrow from like the Lee Bowery school of thought of just like making up the most fucked up silhouettes and you know going away from just like a standard kind of human shape. So even now I kind of like to have my little tendrils and stuff, but I'm like, how can I make that cow? Oh, let me add some just cow ears, you know, and now it's giving cow.
You look like a
Milk.
sexy cow drone. Like that looks like drones
Yeah.
how they fly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the horns look like, like you're gonna just take flight.
That's funny.
Oh my god, that mutation is crazy. AI. Oh my god.
It's like Gertie in Spy Kids 2 who can fly with her pigtails.
Oh, very.
Mhm.
What
Very
flavor?
bad.
What flavor is her milk? That's the question on my mind.
Yeah.
Something
Ooh.
green, something
Sour
brown.
candy, obviously.
Mountain
Oh,
Dew.
the sour candy.
Battery acid.
The sour candy.
Oh,
Nah. Yoska, you're such like I don't think people give you enough props probably in the Twitch space, but being a legend in ballroom is like
Oh, thank
really
you.
flipping hard to achieve, and you should be so proud. I'm like, because I remember Meg finding you through that little documentary that was done about you doing ballroom in bizarre category, and that kind of got you like, she pushed you forward for Dragula because of that, like because of your own artistic integrity and all that stuff. And you always blow me away, and you're just great. And I want you to abduct me like the green cow in the picture. Can I go into your eyes sometime?
Oh my gosh. Oh, well, I gotta make room for you in there. There's some others, you know. Let me just digest them first, and then.
Mm.
Sounds good.
Some other cows currently up in here.
Ooh.
Wide open like I was at the dentist.
Thank you so much, Yoska.
Guys, that was so fun.
Let's gorgeously move on to Mickey.
Hi. Okay, so I'm so excited to show this look. This look means a lot to me because when I first moved to Colorado, it was or back to Colorado, I should say. I was raised here. I got to work with friends that I've kept since my whole life, like in high school. My friend Demi works for Indie 1023 Radio and like works with a lot of concerts and musicians all across the country and world coming in to Denver to put their gorgeous art on for us. That leads us to this look. I was contracted to produce a drag segment for a Pride kickoff party at Meow Wolf Denver. I believe, to my knowledge, I was the first drag queen ever to step on a Meow Wolf stage, and so I knew I had to have something unique and something very like meaningful to wear for the occasion. So I came up with this. A lot of my looks are, I'm a nightlife girly, you know. I always say that I'm a magically melanated pixie princess, but the thing about fairies that's fun for me is that they don't want you to know they're a fairy. So I look like in drag just a girl who wears a little too much makeup, but she's just regular, I swear. So with this outfit, I kind of wanted to give that in my face, my draggy jewelry, my body, but the outfit itself, I kind of wanted to be a little bit weirder, a little bit more unique, and also in that fairy tale vibe, I wanted to be inspired by a phrase. So this outfit is my fashion, like my interpretation in through a fashion lens of the phrase "hold your tongue." Because if there's one thing people know about me, I'm a mouthy bitch. So I was going to say I will be the mouth. And I wanted a corset that was a stuffed piece that was a hand gripping my mouth, which was my bust, and my bottom lip as the skirt with the tongue flopping down. So that was kind of the idea behind this look. Still very prim, very proper, but also a little bit gross, and a little bit of the reflection on how trans voices, women's voices are silenced, because it's a bit aggressive, right? To be like, not just hold your tongue and like maybe an X over a mouth. It's like, no, there's a hand as a corset grabbing my mouth forcibly. So yeah, that's what it came into. This sketch, I love to draw often, but I've had this drawing for years actually, and not this specific one, but this concept. And then I had to whip it up because I finally had an opportunity to make this costume, or have this costume made by my friend. But yeah, so I whipped it up at work because the most creative I ever get is when I'm like sitting at a register or something. I'm like, no customers, like, bust out the receipt paper and let's just transport ourselves to the fantasy. Yeah, so okay, we can go to the next slide, please, and I'll show you the final look. Here she is. But yeah, so we were so blessed to be able to work at the Meow Wolf, and obviously the setting is outrageous and outlandish. So we had a lot of fun just roaming about and taking pictures in the various exhibits. There was one that was like a big kind of wonky like 1940s diner that I should have submitted that picture that I took there. But this was this like cave, like tunnel, like cave with like foamy walls that look a little fleshy, and it matched the tongue. So I was thinking, what if I just look so glamorous right here with the standard glamorous headache pose, in the middle of this. It was so much fun. It was such a delight. And the best thing about this gig was honestly people thinking that you were part of the exhibit. Like families walking through this museum with their kids, and they're just like, wow, look, that's part of the exhibit. And that's like, I bite. But no, it was really such a special time. Okay, we can go to the next photo as well. I'm a little bit short and sweet on this one because I only went right from the sketch to the final look. But yeah. So these are the final images. I'm really proud of how it turned out. It was the perfect amount of coverage and kind of like shapelessness, right? Like, I mean, it looks like a mouth, but it's actually like a tube top and a mini skirt. So the body was featured, and I was oiled head to toe, and it was a beautiful time. I wish I had found the photo of when I performed in this. We had the crowd do a runway style, and they were on the dance floor, and we had them move aside, and there was it's like a chapel in the background, and we were just running up and down this runway, stomping it out. It was really sickening, and I'm really glad I got to share this with you guys because it's a drag piece of my like history that will always like stay with me. Something I'm really proud of. So yeah. That's it.
Years.
I love this
Congratulations.
You look beautiful.
Yes,
and
the
this
mug.
outfit is so interesting and fun, and you are so correct. You are oiled head to toe. Like, you just look
Thank you.
perfect.
Oh, thank you. I mean,
It's really
like
fun. Sorry, you go.
Sorry, go ahead. Oh, I was just saying, like, I wanted to look really, really beautiful and really presentable and really provocative, but also like digestible, because getting to represent our community in a space like a Meow Wolf is like a great honor, and it has to be done, with finesse, so that like it can disarm people that might be against us. They're like, oh wait, actually this isn't scary at all. She's just this regular, really beautiful bitch just hanging out, and I should have bought a ticket to that show. So that's kind of what I was. Yeah. What were you saying?
Digestible, because you're a mouth. Yeah, I got it.
When you're looking yummy.
Yeah. I was just thinking it's like really intriguing, like, because you look so delicate, and like, the oiled head to toe kind of vibe, and then like the story of the look is really like,
it's a little
don't tell me to shut my mouth kind of thing.
Right.
And it's like fun how like the tongue on the outfit is like spreading out, and it's like, oh, on my delicate leg. Like,
let me just yeah.
I also love how your outfit like really matches like the setting, like the colors and everything just like fits so well with the venue. Like what was that intentional? Was that like part of the process?
I had never been to Meow Wolf before. That was just like a stroke of luck. It was just serendipitous. I guess I was meant to be there because we walked up, and the first exhibit I saw, I walked into like it was like like an old school hair salon Like it kind of looked like that from like the 80s or the old film, like a Grease movie. And it was just like there was mirrors and there was just like checkered tiled floors, and I was like, it's perfect.
It's giving video game and like video game character. I love it.
Thank you. I mean, I feel like if I was a fighting game character in that look, I would like lash out with my tongue from my like my body would be separated. Like surprise spoiler, if you hit me too hard, like my torso falls off or something, and I'm just a tongue flopping. Like
Oh my god, Opelia is quaking right now.
you know.
Melina's like, my mouth is just on my mouth. What do you mean? Thank you
Bitch,
so
what did
much.
you want to
Mickey.
say?
Nothing. I just
yeah.
living.
Oh,
I thought that bitch was like saying something, and then I
No, I just was
saw the
like,
way that she
yes.
went like down, and I was like, oh, this is vibing. Thank you so much, Mickey. Let's gorgeously move on to a pal,
Hi, it's me, Apple.
Lady Gaga. Oh,
It's Lady Gaga, sorry.
what's your girl, Lady Gaga?
Let me get into character. So, clearly, I was inspired by this duck on Eve's. So, I do make almost all of my costumes in my closet because I'm I'm very tall, but I'm also very wide big, and also the other way too, like 3-dimensional big. And so I don't fit a lot of things that people are selling, or so I had to learn how to do all that on my own. So I always make all my things, and this was one of them. I'm very inspired by Lady Gaga. I love Lady Gaga so much from the beginning when I was a little teenager and until now. But now I feel like I'm like so myself that I'm able to, do whatever the fuck I want. And I wanted to do this look. But the way that it kind of went was kind of crazy because this hair wasn't made for this look. It was actually made for a different look. And this was like maybe around DragCon, so July. We had made this wig and it was kind of like more like a disco inspired kind of vibe. And I was going for big curly hair. And then August came around and Die With a Smile came out. And I was like, she copied my wig. I was like, that's my wig. And then I decided, why not do the outfit, because I love Gaga. And I'm so into mod right now. Like I love that mod culture. I love Twiggy. I love that era of like big bold colors and color blocking, and when this came out, it was just like breathtaking. I was like, oh my god, I need that. And
you and me both.
Right. So
What
I
the
decided, I know when you were talking about it, I was like, oh my god, me. That's why I was inspired by this blue duck that I saw. No.
You were so wild.
Going back.
The duck will never die.
The duck will never die. But then I ended up I live in LA and I'm able to go to Santee and go fabric shopping, and there's so much, I know bitch knows there's so much here.
Yes.
But I have my little dealer down there, fabric dealer, not the other stuff.
Does he flirt with you like the rest?
What?
They always are so flirty.
Yes, I'm pretty sure
Chasers
he's
down
a
there,
chaser.
honey. They want, they want the fantasy. Yeah, no.
Right, and he's always giving discounts. And I mean, I think it's a discount, but
I gotta tell him my thing.
He makes you feel special.
yeah, yeah. I have his
As you
number
deserve.
anyway. I'm like, I'm so cool. Anyway, so I went to his store and I showed him these reference photos. And I ended up being like, I need this fabric, I need that fabric. And he literally had everything I needed. And so I bought so much of it because I'm big. And we can go to the next slide. I think it's just
the
I think
cover,
it's going to be a really complex sketch coming up. So this is the vibe that I wanted to go for. She does have a more wide arm and like the skirt kind of flows out, but I wanted it to be more form-fitting since I am a drag queen. I want to show my figure. I'm padded, I'm wearing all that. So I made mine very form-fitted. And And then the bow that she has, I also wanted a very larger than life, like drag sized version of it. So I made it even bigger.
I
Yeah,
love how big the bow is.
this is
I
like 5
love
feet
the
wide.
bow.
Yeah. No.
Oh my god, it's as tall as me.
It's so cutesy.
It's also
Um,
because you're so tall. So like having a
Yes.
massive bow, like the blue dress down before the red tights begin, like the bow covers as much as it did with her.
mhm.
Yeah.
Tea. Very that. We can go
Proportions.
Yes, proportionizing. We can go. Mine is kind of short and sweet, but we can go to the last slide. This is the full body look. I also wanted to match the
bow
details,
is
so I got the tights that match it because she has that red tight. I love that like mod style of like that bright tight. That's
Mhm.
me out in the streets of downtown LA.
That's the
I could have been
precinct.
shot.
Yeah, I see you on
Yes,
the
that's
side.
it. She knows.
I know the alleyway. Yes. Mhm. I know that smell.
yeah.
I can smell that corner right there.
Right?
Mhm.
It smells like desperation.
It smells like used
piss.
tights.
Oh yeah.
Piss.
Yeah, well, that was because of me.
Fritos.
And then I also had bright white nails because I love white nails.
I was gonna
make me
say
feel
those
warm.
nails are jaw dropping with that outfit. Like it just boom.
Thank
brings it together.
you. Oh, and then
And-
it's not in this photo, but when I went back to Santee, I found this little brooch, so I added it. So this is new,
Cute.
Ooh.
exclusive.
Wow.
Something old, something new.
Yes, something.
I didn't know
borrowed and
ducks had
something cheap.
nails.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You'd be surprised.
the blue duck had nails. Yeah, white nails. And thank you. That was my look. Any
Yes,
questions?
It's
I love that
gorgeous.
you added the dots too to
amazing.
the makeup.
Thank you.
hmm
I did it
I really
today.
love it.
So
Thank
good.
you.
So fierce. You look
Where?
gorgeous.
How did you? Are you self-taught for like creating outfits and sewing and stuff?
Yes, everything my mom taught me how to use a sewing machine. She didn't really teach me like how to make a garment. And then I kind of just started learning and just kept
I love
going and going.
that.
That's really
Do you
genius.
paper patterns as well?
Do I have what?
Paper patterns? Like, did you learn with paper patterns?
I did not buy any patterns. I just made my own patterns just from like YouTube and stuff.
Did anyone else here
Wow.
ever use paper patterns? Like the ones that Dear was
No.
showing? Like, I've got like the, oh,
I haven't used them, but I know them.
yeah.
I
I
have
have
them.
I have like maybe 4 or 5 patterns I use that are very base. But then I kind of just like drape everything and just start pinning around, and
Mm,
that's how I work. I
Exactly.
I
Getting the
can't do
vibe.
math and measurements, and oh my god, no.
yeah. It's not easy. Like crafting outfits is not easy. So anytime somebody like says they make their own clothes, I am always very envious of that talent because that is a lot of commitment. And then you look great.
Thank you.
It's so cool.
The math was why I gave up on it, to be honest. I was like, no, I
Yeah,
cannot
the
sew
math.
another garment. I do not know how to make a size 10 into a size ladylike.
A size 8. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
I also really love Apple. You say that you like really like the mod look and such, and I think it's a very gorgeous look on you. Actually, I think you
Thank
really
you.
suit it. Like the color blocking is really powerful. I think with your like height and stuff as well, and the big hair, it's really pretty.
Thank you.
It's stunning.
You're amazing.
Does anyone have any other comments for Apple, or should we move on?
Did you
Lady
like the
Gaga
song?
is so inspiring.
Did I what?
Did you like the song, or you hit the chorus with her in it? and
Oh,
you
I
use
love-
it a mix. Okay.
Yes, I got to perform it at Rocco's with Annie.
yeah.
Antibiotics was like my Bruno
Oh, that's
Mars.
cool. That's
She was like
fierce.
Bruna Mars.
Bruna.
That name, antibiotic.
No, Bruja.
That's a fun
Bruno
name,
Mars.
Antibiotics.
Yes.
Yes.
Bruno
Were you?
Pluto.
Did you get to wear this?
Yes.
You got to wear the look for the.
Yes.
Okay.
I got to wear it. So I looked like Gaga and she looks like just blue and red.
What
What a trooper. What a
Hey.
saint.
That's amazing. She was setting you up for
Merc.
success.
Yeah.
I love blue and red.
She
Thank
did you
you
a
so
favor.
much, Apple.
Thank you.
let's gorgeously move on to
Rich Power.
Well,
Rich Power.
it's my goal in 2025 to teach myself how to sew because it's the one thing I really can't do in drag.
Let's
I
do
know how to do stuff with
classics.
hair.
I'll
I know how
fly
to
over.
do mixes, video, stream on Twitch. Sewing's the one thing I've not conquered, so that's what I'm excited about. So, fun fact: we're talking about my alien runway on Dragula season 2. It was called science fiction. Like we had to do something like I remember what jumped out to me in the prompt was camp. And funny enough, when I got the call to be on Dragula, I was hooking up with this like Atlanta artist, and he was like an older guy, a little kooky. And he was like, I was trying to like, he knew what was on. I was like, all right, I got this thing coming on. Like, I gotta be inspiration. And he's like, oh, have you ever seen Vegas in Space? And it's this crazy, amazing, super campy drag film. It definitely highly recommend it. It actually inspired this film specifically inspired the challenge in season 3 of Drag Race, where it was drag queens in outer space from Earth to Uranus, which oddly enough eliminated Phoenix, who is a huge inspiration to me, and she's a huge staple in the Atlanta scene. But yeah, not specifically any of these looks, but that was where my mind was during all of this when I was kind of coming up with it. Can we go to the next slide, please? Icon legend. Also, I don't know why my video is coming in so pixelated, but I hope I'm still pretty.
You look beautiful.
So this is, hopefully you don't get too mesmerized because I realize how fast it's moving, but this is a Gucci ad in 2017. And I actually met the creative director and the makeup artist at this at IMATS. This came out around the time we got the call for Dragula, and I like in my heart of hearts thought everyone was going to be pulling from this Gucci ad. It was very iconic, like everything was everywhere else. I remember when I was during this time, I was still in the competition living at Laganja's house. That's going to play into what I wear later, but I remember Got Mick was like, oh, are you doing the Gucci ad? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, I tried to recreate that, but I couldn't figure out the right green. And I was like, oh, when I worked in Atlanta a lot, I would paint myself fun colors. Like I was known for like green hair, green dress, let's do Taylor Swift, or I'd be blue and do something crazy. I just always would try to push the bar and like what I was able to achieve just to kind of stand out. And Marathon Paradise Paint has aqua colors, and they have these metallic ones, and specifically this green color. I don't know if that's what they use for this. I'm like 99.9% sure because my skin looks pretty close to this.
Really close.
But that's the one I use for my look. So we can go to the next slide. Thank you, icons. Thank you, legends. So this is the look from Dragula. So funny enough, this wasn't actually supposed to be my look for the show. Originally, I planned to be inspired. I was inspired by the Power Rangers in space. They have a villains called the Psycho Rangers. And I wanted to be like a sexy bounty hunter, be super villain. Like I wanted to be a villain of Power Rangers in space. Like maybe I managed the Psycho Rangers or something like that. And my color palette for that was obviously going to be like being like a wasp queen kind of look. And I had prosthetics made. And I had the head of the bee and the stinger, like my arm was going to be this huge stinger. But my color palette the week before for the Rock Challenge was black and yellow. And the first 2 weeks I did something that was just like, I did a lot of latex burns and latex like work on my face. So I didn't want to repeat something twice as soon as I started getting a win doing well. So at the time I was subletting Laganja's apartment while she was on tour. And I was told I had to find my own housing during the season. I was not offered to live with the rest of the people. They invited me to move in after this look, which is kind of funny. But I was like, I don't know what to flip and wear. Like, what am I going to do? And right before going to Dragula, my friend Casey was just like, she got this job and she was a waitress. And she came up and she's like, we have to do scripting. I'm like, what's scripting? Because it's like a high-end like waiter thing. It's like, hi, what are we celebrating tonight? Wow, our third trip around Mercury, you must say. You must build up quite the appetite. You know, I made it more Mars-ish, but like she had this whole persona that I thought was so fucking funny. And this outfit was just hanging up there, like the skirt and the little tennis thing, and it was in Laganja's closet. And I called her and I was like, "Did you wear this on the show?" Because then I just couldn't wear anything she'd worn before on TV. And she was like, "Actually, that was for I had that outfit made for when I was on Dancing Queen with Alyssa's show on Netflix, but they're cutting me out of that completely, so you can wear it. I don't want to see that outfit ever again." And I was like, "Work." So Meg actually sewed that unitard. The under part is complete shit, but it gave me enough to kind of be like that. The mic pack did not fit anywhere in the outfit. My breastplate is kind of hollow, so the mic pack is underneath my boob.
That's great.
It's
That's
really bad.
amazing.
The hair, Gia Gunn was subletting with me at the time, and she told me where to go, and I went to this amazing hairstylist in Hollywood, and I came with this reference and she did it. And there's a lot of little nods throughout this whole look that really kind of I've never felt more confident in drag. I remember putting this look on and looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, no one can ever say shit to me again. Like I am like all those people who bullied me in Atlanta, it worked. Bullying worked because I wouldn't have looked this damn good on TV if that wasn't the case. And it was so fun. I have a tray of blue waffle. I wanted blue waffles, but they're not. They're blueberry waffles, but I tried to make them as blue as I could, as like a reference to the internet. And the bee wasp thing that I made ended up being my baby. So I put the headpiece I had made for the bee into the arm of the baby. And for some reason, I thought we had to explain while we were pregnant. So when I walk out, I'm like, that buzzard done stung me in the kisser. Was trying to be like, I was trying to correlate like why I'm giving
you're
birth
pregnant.
to a bee. You know what I mean? Because I wanted it to be like crazy, you know, like, and I had this like cool thing. I had this guy like fabricate this whole bee stuff, and like, it's not gonna be on the show. He's gonna kill me. Like, this is gonna be awful. And so that's what I'm giving birth to, is this like bee creature.
Iconic.
And with my drag, I do like, I pull a lot from references. My mom's a scrapbooker, and I feel like that's how I create my art. I just kind of layer a bunch of stuff together until I feel about right. And for a while, I kind of felt insecure about that because like everyone is like type A and has references and stuff like that. That's just not how I work. So if you're watching this, you're like, if you're not a sketch girl, you're just like, oh, what's in front of me? And like, we can kind of pull stuff together. Sickening. You know, that's how I do. I did make the earrings. I made those earrings. They were like a broken piece of a necklace that then I painted red with nail polish, and then I glue like a jewel on it. And I really loved that. It was cool.
I love the glasses so much. The pointy shape really helps the like.
So those
cat
glasses are literally
very
like dollar store alien glasses, and I just popped the lenses out of.
Oh, smart.
And they
No
were like
way.
silver, and they had that cool shape, and it kind of framed my face.
No, that's
perfectly.
smart.
That's really smart.
I love the contour. I contoured my face really interesting. I highlighted the crap up here, which I learned when I did a Lady Gaga illusion. Funny enough, that Apple was right before me, but I did one time I did Born This Way makeup, and I tried to use prosthetics, and it looked like awful. And out of like sheer frustration, I just contoured the crap on my face, and I pulled off the illusion. Like, it looked that good. And I was like, it looked 3D, but like I just highlighted the crap out of it. So then I used that skill there to kind of like reshape my face and make it look more alien and extend my forehead.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
It's really pretty.
Cool.
It's really fabulous.
Really nice.
That's one of my favorite things I probably have ever done. It was like, it's also like really hard. And I also kind of chose it because like Wicked is so popular right now. And I just actually saw the production at Pantages because my management represents their Elphaba. And afterwards I was like, what was your green? Because you were all over Fiero, like making out girl. Like, why didn't that rub off? Like, what was that? Because the Mayron, you can use the Mayron like quick set, and it kind of makes it budge proof, but like you got to be careful. Alcohol is usually the best way to go if you're not going to like have anything budge. But it was chrome cake. It was Mac's chrome cake, which I thought was gaggy. It was the oil-based chrome cake, which I was like, oh,
Good to know.
that's gaggy.
Yeah, they've been using Mac Chroma Cake for like 20 years for Wicked.
I know.
Like on Broadway.
That's
It's
so
cool.
wild to me. I live. Yeah.
Does anyone here have any questions for Bitch? If not, we could even ask the audience. Does the audience have any questions for us?
How hard was it to get that green paint off?
I was gonna ask
So
you.
my breastplate never recovered from that. That's why the boobs look gray the rest of the season, if you kind of look closely.
Oh no.
Oh no.
But a wonderful product that it was funny. Victoria was scrubbing off her slime and her like crazy makeup that she did when she was this alien on this episode. And she used this stuff called Super Solve, and that's what I use. And I still use that as my makeup remover to this day. It just like melts your makeup, and it's like basically a bunch of vitamin A, aloe, and vitamin E.
Gorgeous.
And that worked pretty well.
Thank you so much, Joel.
Cute.
Should we do a gorgeous little round up there? I can see there's one question in chat.
That you're
Lady,
not
what
going
was
to
your
answer.
favorite look on House of Drag? None of them. And so,
Period.
Let's gorgeously say a thank you and goodbye to everyone again. Let's go along, dear. Where can we see you? What's your name? Can I have your number?
You have my number. I texted you today, didn't I?
Thank you so much. Yeah.
My name is Dear. Let's play what you fear. I love drag. I love streaming. This has been such a joy. This is our 5th year in the running. Stream Queens Con. It's just so cool to see this come alive every year. And I'm so happy to be a part of the last panel of the day. Woo! Thank you.
Yo, Scott.
Hi guys, it's me, Yovska, the ultimate drag plushie. You can catch me tomorrow streaming around 5 p.m. EST, Identity 5, my favorite game. But I've been playing other games too, so come say hi. And
You did Clock Tower Rewind recently.
we did, and we actually did Alyssa recently too.
You did Alyssa too, yeah.
And I need to replay Alyssa because I gotta get all the
dying in
weapons.
Alyssa, yeah.
Love that game.
Love dolls.
Love dolls.
Nikki?
Yes.
All
Hi, I'm
kinds of dolls.
Mickey. Speaking of dolls.
Speaking of dolls.
No, I'm Mickey Mirage, and I am a streamer sometimes, but I'm working on getting better connection, as I hope I didn't dip out too much today during the panel. And as soon as I can have better connection to the internet, I will be doing more World of Warcraft shenanigans. So if you're ever interested in getting into that, there are gay people that play MMOs, I promise you, and we're very fierce at it. So just shoot at me a message, and yeah, thank you again for having me in the panels. I love Stream Queens, and the con is always a highlight of the year for me.
Yes, thank you. Apal.
Hi, I'm Apal. I had so much fun on this panel. Thank you for including me, lady. You can find me on the streets of downtown LA
Ooh.
or
Opposite
the streets of
Rich's Corner,
WeHo. Yeah.
Bitch should be traveling.
Yeah, I'm not the reason for the smell though. But yeah,
That's bitch.
thank you so much. Yeah, that's bitch. Yeah. Every second Friday. Yeah. And yeah, maybe I'll stream soon.
Yeah, right. We'll find a new game for you, a new random horror game for you to do one.
Yeah,
One stream.
do
yeah.
one.
And bitch.
Hi, y'all. You can catch me right here on Twitch. I also host a monthly party called Bitchin' every second Friday at Precinct TTLA. Our party is coming up this Friday, and it's our annual Pokemon theme show. It's going to be very fun. It stars Louisiana Purchase, fellow season 3 alum with Yoska. It's going to be a gay old time. Please come out if you like Pokemon, video games, and Jenny. You know, Jenny's there too. She's
Yes.
But you can usually catch me on Twitch playing a lot of Street Fighter. I'm grinding a lot of Manon and Street Fighter 6, as well as I've been playing Marvel Rivals, which has been interesting.
I like playing Jeff. I just started playing them.
Marvel Rivals is super fun. It's my favorite alpha build to be released. It's so good.
Yeah.
The stare.
Thank you so much again, everyone. Thank you for being a part of this panel. It really, really does mean a lot. It was lovely to get told yes from y'all. And I'm like, thank you, because I just wanted to hear about y'all and y'all's processes. Thank you, everybody. I've been Lady Lay. You can find me on It's Lady Lay on all socials and platforms. Thank you, everybody.
Exclamation mark
Yay.
merch
One
if you want to get your
lighting.
commemorative Stream Queens Con 5 shirt. Woo!
Yeah, what she said.
That's higher than I can. Only 2 more years.